There are a lot of people out there struggling, barely scraping by, and living paycheck to paycheck, which makes it seem like everyone is. Surprisingly, there are also people who aren't broke, who have plenty of money left at the end of the month. They have cash stashed away for rainy days, their future, and to enjoy the finer things in life. These are some reasons people actually might be doing well. Pay attention because you might be able to incorporate some of these ideas into your life. My name is Chris, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you're interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Not having any student debt can really springboard your career and make life much easier, considering it usually takes 10 to 20 years to pay off student loans. If you're drowning in student debt, it doesn't mean everyone else is. There are plenty of people who are never in student debt at all, or they've completely paid them off. Perhaps they went to a low-cost school and were able to pay cash for their education, or their parents took care of their tuition, or they received help in other ways. Alternatively, they might have borrowed money for schooling, but made certain sacrifices in order to get them paid off as soon as possible, as they recognize how detrimental long-term debt can be for their future. There are many people drowning in student loan debt due to a series of poorly thought out choices and circumstances, among other reasons, but there are plenty of people who have taken control of the debt. Some people find themselves in a situation where they're spending significantly less on housing than most people. When you're not shelling out much or anything at all for housing, it can really change the game in terms of affording both the fun stuff and everyday necessities. There are all sorts of ways this can happen. Some may choose to bunk with family or find themselves in a living situation with lower costs overall. Others might opt to split rent with roommates, get into house hacking, or live through renovations, taking it one project at a time as they save up for their dream home. The fact is, some people luck out and live rent-free, while others are smart about cutting down on housing expenses. If you're savvy about minimizing or getting rid of your housing costs, it becomes a lot harder to end up in a financial bind. Just because there are plenty of folks struggling to make ends meet after rent or mortgage payments doesn't mean everyone is in the same boat. Those who bought a house at the right time, meaning at least a few years ago, are sitting pretty, and the investment translates to a lifestyle with more wiggle room in the budget. Purchasing a home before the recent spike in home prices translates to substantial equity, and if they refinance their mortgage when rates were at record lows, their housing expenses are probably extremely low. Not only is their net worth likely much higher than someone who's not yet a homeowner, they're saving money every month by not paying current market rents or mortgage rates. Even though you wouldn't be able to pick these people out in a crowd, their monthly savings and increased net worth makes it a lot easier to get by every month while having money left over for things like a nicer car, vacations, and dining out. Everyone's spending habits are as unique as their fingerprints, so while it might seem like your friends are living it up in certain aspects, they could be tightening their belts elsewhere. Here's the deal with personal finance and having a blast with your money. Spend on what matters to you and stash away what doesn't. But here's the funny thing. When we see others having a good time, we tend to think they're going all out in every department. The real trick is mastering the art of strategic spending. By being savvy about where your hard-earned cash goes, you can unlock a world of possibilities. Take housing costs, for example. By being mindful of your rent, mortgage, and property investments, you can open up a treasure trove of funds for all the little luxuries that make life sweet. Think stylish clothes, unforgettable vacations, and nights out on the town. It's not about scrimping and saving. It's about making deliberate choices that let you live your best life without breaking the bank. So, while your pals might appear to be living large, remember that they're probably cutting back in certain categories. By finding that sweet spot between enjoying the present and planning for the future, you can build a life that's as rich in experiences as it is in financial security. If you know someone who runs their own business, they might be bringing in a mind-blowing amount of cash. There are tons of simple businesses that aren't flashy or need a huge investment up front, yet they're raking in loads of monthly cash flow. Think real estate photography, automotive ceramic coating, social media marketing, window washing, and other home services. They may not seem like gold mines, but their owners are laughing all the way to the bank, and in many cases, bringing in well over $1,000 per day just as a sole operator. Cubicle dwellers might sneer at these business operators as if these entrepreneurs are below them for not working a white-collar 9-to-5. not realizing that they're quite literally earning 10 times their annual income. Even if it doesn't seem like much, as they're just sticking to a regular work week, not a big shot, and not running a huge corporation, they could still be running a wildly profitable small business that provides an extremely comfortable lifestyle for themselves and their families. There are plenty of folks out there who are living comfortably financially, and it's not just luck that got them there. Many of them made some savvy investments early on that are paying off big time now. They didn't just throw their money around randomly, they took the time to research and evaluate their options, whether it was diving into the stock market, dabbling in real estate, or exploring other investment opportunities. Whether they purchased property, bought stocks, or invested in other assets early on in their development, just one or two of these choices can be life-changing, and in many cases, those around them wouldn't even be aware such decisions were made. By making smart choices and putting their money where it counts, they've managed to build up a nice nest egg over time. And now, they're reaping the rewards of their foresight and careful planning. Instead of stressing about bills or living paycheck to paycheck, they've got a comfortable cushion to fall back on. This financial security gives them the freedom to pursue their passions and dreams without constantly worrying about the bottom line. It's all about making those strategic moves and setting yourself up for success down the line. It's not uncommon for people to receive financial assistance from their parents or other family members, and for many, it can be a major factor in their financial stability. A recent study conducted by Credit Karma sheds light on this trend, revealing that approximately 1/3 of millennials and Gen Zers aged 18 and above have received some form of financial support from their parents within the past 12 months. However, it's important to note that this doesn't necessarily indicate financial hardship on the part of the recipients. Rather, it reflects the willingness of parents who might be in a comfortable financial situation to provide assistance to their kids when needed. Help from family could also be in the form of an inheritance, which could allow their heirs to retire comfortably, buy a second home, or step up their level of living to something more luxurious. This help allows them to make choices based on personal preferences rather than financial constraints, ultimately enhancing their overall quality of life and enabling them to pursue their goals and just fund their everyday life with more freedom and confidence. Although it might appear that everyone is struggling financially, that's simply not the case. Many people are actually living quite comfortably, not reliant on each paycheck, fully funded retirement accounts, cash ready to be spent on new cars, second homes on the horizon, and ample room in their budgets for unexpected expenses. There's an incredible range of financial comfort, but you might be surprised if you knew how many people are living well. And guess what? It's possible for you too. You can achieve this level of financial stability by examining the factors contributing to others' success and implementing similar strategies that are within your control in your own life.